when everyone decides for themselves. The seventh book is uncomfortable. Judges does not inspire, it exposes. It opens with promise still standing and people already drifting. No king, no central voice, no shared authority, and one line keeps repeating like a warning siren. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. Not rebellion with fists raised, just quiet independence, and that's how it starts. Israel forgets the danger of freedom without direction. They settle among enemies they were supposed to drive out. They borrow customs, adopt values, rename compromise as coexistence, and Judges becomes a cycle. Sin, oppression, crying out, deliverance, relapse over and over again. God raises judges, not kings, not priests, temporary rescuers for recurring problems. Flawed leaders, broken people, short memories. Samson has strength but no discipline. Gideon has calling but fear. Jephthah has faith but no wisdom. Because when God is not centered, even gifts become dangerous. Judges shows us something haunting. God keeps saving people who keep on doing the rescue, not because God is weak, but because love refuses to quit. The book ends not with victory, but chaos, violence, confusion, moral collapse, no altar, no accountability, no anchor, just a nation convinced that sincerity equals righteousness. Now, seventh book again, New Testament, 1 Corinthians. Paul writes to a church that looks successful, but is fractured underneath, gifted, loud, confident, and confused. They argue over leaders, they tolerate sin, they weaponize freedom. Sound familiar? Corinth is Judges with pews, everyone doing what feels right in their own understanding and calling it spiritual. Paul doesn't applaud their passion, he corrects it, because freedom without love is still bondage. The Corinthians chase gifts but neglect character. They want power without submission, wisdom without humility. Paul reminds them the cross is not impressive, it's offensive because it dismantles ego. Judges wanted strength, Corinth wanted eloquence. God offers surrender. Paul says, you are one body, not competing parts, not ranked callings, one. When one part suffers, all suffer. Judges fell apart because everyone isolated their faith. Corinth fractures because everyone promotes their preference. And Paul brings them back to center. Love, not emotion, not tolerance. Sacrificial discipline, patient love. Love that corrects, love that waits, love that does not insist on its own way. Because when love is missing, even truth becomes cruel. Paul says, you can speak in tongues, prophesy, move mountains, but without love, you are noise. Judges was loud with action and silent in wisdom. Corinth was loud with speech and quiet in obedience. Same disease, different century. And then Paul talks about resurrection, because correction without hope becomes condemnation. Just like Judges, failure is not the final word. God keeps intervening not because people deserve it, but because God is faithful. Judges shows what happens when people forget God's authority. Corinth shows what happens when people forget God's heart. Both remind us spiritual gifts do not replace spiritual maturity. Patience does not replace obedience. Freedom does not replace responsibility. Seventh book confronts us with a choice. Will we live by personal preference or divine purpose? Because when everyone decides for themselves, the community suffers. But when God is centered, even broken people become instruments of restoration. Judges ends asking for a king. Corinth points to one, not crowned in gold, but lifted on a cross. And his rule doesn't seventh book is a mirror, not asking who was right, but who was submitted. Because faith is not proven by how loudly we act or how boldly we speak, but by how deeply we love and how faithfully we obey.